The following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. William B. Ririe Hospital Board Meeting, March 22nd, 2021.
So everyone, before we begin public comment today, it's limited to 5 minutes. Before you begin your comment, please state your full name clearly for the record, and get your 5 minutes. I will be timing, so once we hit the 5-minute cutoff point, I will stop you. Those of you that, if you're hearing comments similar to your own, you may just say, my name is so-and-so, I echo so-and-so. You are, of course, entitled to repeat exactly what they say if you want for the full 5 minutes, but you do have that option of just saying, I echo so-and-so's comment. So with that, the chairwoman will recognize whoever wants to go.
Okay. Yes, please.
What would you like me to be now?
That's fine, right where you're at, just state your name.
My name is Tim Dodson. I'm from Cherry Creek. I am a White Pine County native. I'm here to support Dr. Miller. I'm a 100% disabled veteran. I've been Dr. Miller's patient for 20 years, and I won't have any confidence in any new doctors if I have to select one. She supported me physically, medically, emotionally. I have PTSD, I have a lot of problems. Dr. Miller, I have every confidence in her abilities and all the treatment that she's given me for the last 20 years. I understand we have some new doctors coming in, and I'm supposed to pick a new doctor. Well, I don't have much confidence in that. I don't know if I have enough time left to teach a new doctor all my problems. So I want you to reconsider not refilling her contract on May the 5th. I know that she has a lot of seniors for patients. I'm one of them, and I've spoken with several, and they are very upset. I'm upset. I've been upset for 3 days. I got the letter on Saturday, which I couldn't do anything about. Kind of felt like a knife in the back, and I fought for all of you people. I should have some reliability in my medical care. That's about all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to make a comment? Yes.
I'm going to stand away from y'all because I want to take my mask off so you can understand me a little better. My name is Carrie Pintar, 1417 Mill Street. Last month and this month's agenda I find full of appointments and reappointments, yet there is one name missing very conspicuously from this list, and it belongs to Dr. Valerie Miller. I find it unconscionable, asinine, and unfathomable that we have a 24-year-plus physician who's dedicated her career to servicing members of this community, providing exceptional care and compassion to her patients and those who aren't her patients. And yet our CEO has chosen not to offer her a contract renewal 6 months before her scheduled retirement. I think that should be the board's decision to offer or not offer that contract, because the board's here to ratify all these appointments that are on this agenda tonight. I find this situation very similar to that of what happened to Amy Hensley, and I'm asking you why. She's a valuable member of this community still, and now she's providing services in an off-site facility in an unaffiliated clinic, and patients are using her services daily. Why are we picking and choosing what we're basing that on? Is it because Dr. Miller's not a cash cow because she spends time with her patients and she does not run them through the mill like another doctor that sees 28 to 35 patients a day? Do you not agree with her political beliefs? Is it because you don't agree with her religious beliefs? I don't know, but from an outside perspective, the hospital seems to be trying to influence matters in which it should stay out of, such as the plans for your new in-house pharmacy. We have 2 local businesses in this community that you're competing with their business. I don't understand that, because this facility is funded through tax dollars and others are not. You keep business booming if you keep the professional doctors and nurses who provide services to keep the patients coming in, but you're outhousing them, sending them elsewhere because you're not bringing their doctors, allowing them to stay. I find it hypocritical that we are going to proceed with new business items tonight, number C and D, which is determine and finding a critical labor shortage and approve a critical need position. Why is that we are gonna approve critical need positions when we have doctors in this facility, in this community that wanna continue to work here, and yet you choose not to ratify and offer her a contract? To you guys, I say all of you, shame on you. I think once again, White Pine County is gonna be laughable because it's unprofessional how we treat professionals who care for us in this community. I would hope that you would consider my comments and maybe think you have till May 5th or whatever to change this situation with Dr. Miller, and I think it needs to be addressed by this board. Thank you.
I'd like to speak.
Yes, please, go ahead. Would you mind standing and stating your name?
No, I don't mind. My name is Gloria Jean Smith, also known as Snuffy. I am retired after 25 years at the 7th Judicial District Court, serving White Pine, Eureka, and Lincoln counties, and working for Judges Merlin Holding and Steve DeBresky. As we age, we realize more and more that very little is about seniors. Such is the case with Dr. Valerie Miller leaving our area. Now, granted, not everyone is a fan, but those of us who know her and have been lucky enough to be treated by her realize that 3 new doctors are not going to be able to replace her. We are also very interested to know where all of a sudden 3 new doctors can be hired to take her place. There has to have been a plan in place to hire them before Dr. Miller retired, quote unquote, which is the word out of the scheduling and appointment office. It is our understanding that Dr. Valerie Miller's contract has not been renewed. We would like to know the reasons, and if you cannot reveal them, at least let us know that they were so egregious. For example, someone died, that you could make no other decision but to terminate her contract. On several of your agenda items, you are extending contracts and even reinstating one doctor who has supposedly retired. You cite critical labor shortage as a reason. I don't know, but I'll bet Dr. Miller's workload could help with the critical labor shortage. Your mission statement says to provide quality health care in a compassionate, safe environment that supports the dignity of individuals and their families. That is exactly what Dr. Miller has been doing for years. Dr. Miller has many senior patients, and it is not as simple as just starting with a new doctor, having to update 20 years of your history. So 3 doctors are not going to be making immediate changes, or will they be able to handle the workload that Dr. Miller presently carries? We all know that she is way too young to retire. She is not ready to retire, and she still has many of us who need her care. Dr. Miller has been here for over 20 years and has done a very good job keeping many of us alive. She owns a home and has planned to stay and retire here. How fortunate is Ely to have her? Many times management, who do not deal with patients, make decisions that are not for the best of the patients or the community. This is one of those times. I ask you on behalf of many seniors and patients to reconsider your decision to not renew Dr. Miller's contract. It will be a blessing to her patients and the community, as well as helping your critical labor shortage. Thank you.
I can't talk with this on, so. My name is Robin Eldridge, and I live out on the highway, on McGill Highway, and I've been a resident here since 2002. Make me cry. And I echo what they both say, but I want to go further to say that Dr. Miller is our only resident female doctor, and in this world of identity politics, how is this even possible? When I went to go reschedule with somebody, they referred me to a nurse practitioner. I got nothing against nurse practitioners. They are fabulous and indispensable, but they're not synonymous with a physician. They cannot do what they do. They are not allowed to do what they do. So to try to refer me to a nurse practitioner for a checkup or whatever, I just can't even believe that that was happening here. You cannot replace a physician with a nurse practitioner or a traveling doctor because they don't know our history, and to reiterate it, like Snuffy said, 20 years of history, and there's other factors outside of a medical record. People can or can't do certain treatment plans, and these new doctors and these traveling doctors, they don't know us, and they can't take that into consideration, and they don't have the time to get to know us. So for a specialist, it's great, but as a general practitioner and a family practitioner, no. She's also our only registered pediatrician. What the heck? What are you guys thinking? Now what are we gonna do? You know, I mean, to just dismiss her after 24 years is wrong. So I think it's a very bad decision, and I would really hope that you would reconsider it because it's a bad decision for White Pine County. Absolutely.
Thank you.
She started it.
Yes,
Oh,
do.
I'm sorry. I feel bad about that. Someone else.
I'm
girls
Cosette
are-
Eldridge. I'm RSVP Field Representative for White Pine County. We're a nonprofit organization. We provide free services to the elderly as they need it. And I've had so many calls complaining about your decision to not renew Dr. Miller's contract. She's my doctor. She was my doctor too. And I've had 3 appointments set up after this happened to her. And each time I've gone in and they say, oh, whoever I was supposed to see, oh, they're not here. They're about to be gone for the week. Well, that gets a little discouraging with 3 appointments canceled after I had a doctor that didn't do that to me. I have a lot of patients have called me, a lot of our clients have called me that were her patients, and they're looking into going out of town because they're so tired of this. It was a very poor decision. I feel like everyone that's spoken so far, we had a doctor that we respected, and she respected us. We weren't treated like cattle. I've worked 31 years in medical and health services, and I've seen good and bad decisions, and I think this is one of the worst decisions I've seen yet. I hope you will reconsider and plead and bring her back. Give her a contract. She deserves. She dedicated 24 years of her life here caring for the people in this town. And this is what you do to show what you thought of her. There's no loyalty with your doctors, and I don't understand that. It's so hard to get a doctor here and keep them. And I think that's an important thing that you need to rethink, and I think you should offer her a contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll take care of the back row first.
I'm Amy Schonke, and I'm Dr. Miller's patient for about 13 years. And just 6 months ago, she actually saved my life. I was life flighted to Salt Lake and to St. George, and I came home with a diagnosis of severe pancreatitis, diverticulitis with internal heavy bleeding at some time. Dr. Miller took over my care, and she brought me to this point that I'm here today speaking to you. I developed severe acute anemia, verified by our lab work, and she took over immediately. She herself took me to the hospital, had blood transfusion started on me, stayed in touch with the hospital through the night, checking on how I was doing. And this dedication is why I think we need Dr. Miller in this community and for all the patients that are speaking on her behalf. And I really wish that you would reconsider her decision and renew her contract. She is a wonderful doctor. She is dedicated, always available, and cares about her patients. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Yes, please.
My name is Bobby Bradley, and I think most of you know who I am. But I want to emphasize what Gary said and also emphasize to the board, that decision was made by one person. And as far as I'm concerned, when you're on a board of directors, the whole board of directors are all responsible for this, and they all should have a say in whether Miller gets a contract or Miller doesn't. I want you all to know she is not my doctor, but I support her 110%. If that woman had not taken over a case for us, for my son, when we asked 4 other doctors here, that absolutely had nothing, would have nothing to do with my son's case, my son would be dead. She went out of her way on a weekend to take that child in. He's not a child, he's an adult man, but he got schizophrenia and he went out off the deep end. And if it hadn't been for Miller stepping in and taking that young man in and giving the medication she gave him that nobody else would, he now is holding a job. He now has a new girlfriend. He's just like a normal person. And my thing is what I don't understand is I believe that there's not just Dr. Miller that's in this target. I've heard several things being in the clinic. I've heard several instances with doors open when people are on this board talking to doctors, telling them the same exact thing. 10 minutes, 10 minutes. You need to get them in, get them out. We're not cattle. Okay, we're a small town. We need to have the time to sit with these doctors and explain our cases. My case, their case, anybody else's case here is totally different. Some people need more time to talk to a doctor. My doctor, as is right now, he's a practitioner. And I know he's in the gun sites. He's next. He's on that list. And all I can say to the board today is that White Pine County is absolutely out of their mind if they get rid of a doctor and don't offer her a contract back at the point we're at where we don't have any darn doctors, and then start targeting other people because you guys think we want new people in here for more, we need new education, we need this, we don't need that. We've got people here that are staying up with the educations, things that are going on. I think they're doing a fine job as doctoring, all of them. But it just seems it's like okay, we've gone through the process, now let's get rid of them and shuffle some more in. I have no idea where people think that that's what the community wants. And I don't think that one person should ever make that decision. I think the board of directors themselves should all vote on whether or not somebody gets a contract or somebody doesn't. Nurses, doctors, whatever. Otherwise, I think White Pine County needs to turn around. Maybe we need to revote and start cleaning the house here.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel.
Absolutely. Any more public comments? Did I miss anyone?
Can I take my mask off? So, my husband and I are here in support of Dr. Valerie Miller. It's unclear why yours.
Could you state your name for us, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris Maestas. I've lived in McGill, I've lived here all my life. So it's unclear why your CEO, Matt Walker, has decided not to renew Dr. Miller's contract. She is one of the best, if not the best, physician in this community. I was very sick when I started seeing Dr. Miller. My previous physician had me taking a very dangerous cocktail of drugs. She immediately stopped these drugs. And I was also very anemic and needed iron transfusions. She's the only one who figured that out, just by looking at me. Dr. Miller always listens to our concerns, answers our questions, and never rushes us out of the office. She makes sure that we understand her diagnosis and medications that she has prescribed. She is always compassionate and caring. Many times she has stayed past quitting time. When everyone else has left the building, she's still there. How many doctors give you their personal cell phone number? My husband had some issues, healthcare issues in the middle of the night, and she was there for him and made sure to follow up. If Dr. Miller is forced to leave this facility, we will go with her. We are beside ourselves with the thought that she has been forced to leave, and I am sure we're not the only patients, obviously, who feel that way. Our hope is that the board will consider to reinstate her contract. I can't imagine why you have a pharmacist running your facility. And we are praying for Dr. Miller.
Thank you.
My name is Dan Maestas. I've been here for my whole life. I went to Vietnam in 1969. I was the head of the former War Memorial Foundation here that have those beautiful signs right up at the high school, all of them. Many of you were a part of that. Many of you donated to that. Do you realize what a Vietnam veteran has to go through? I mean, we're talking about a full year that they're there, that they have to go back and renew all their history of everything that they've done. I don't want to do that again. I have a whole history of 17 years with Dr. Miller. I'm here to support her 100%. And what's going on here, I cannot believe this is even happening. She needs to be reinstated here at the board. I mean, as a physician, she does a great job. I believe in everything that she does. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'll go ahead. My name's Meg Rhodes. I'm also here in support of Dr. Miller. She treats her patients like family. You go in, she doesn't treat, I mean, she'll talk to you like, if you go in, you've got high blood pressure, she'll ask you, what's going on? You know, because sometimes the cause of that is not because you have something physical going on, it's something else. So she gets the whole thing. She spends the time with you, she takes the time, she doesn't rush through it, she doesn't make you feel like you're burdening her time. She's been here for 26 years, she's been mine and my kids' physician since 2006. She took care of my parents. She helped me through all this stuff with my mom in Salt Lake. Over the phone, she was on with the doctors, helping my mom get the care, even at another facility that she needed. There's not a lot of people that care like that anymore. They're here to put the time in and to leave. She's not one of those. She does everything she can for this whole community.
Hi, Director Grill, 1040 Mill Street. Me and my wife are both here in support of Dr. Miller. We've only been here for 10 years, but she has been our doctor for the entire 10 years, and we'd be hard-pressed to find another doctor. We have faith in her. We've been with her for all these years, and she has actually saved both of us. So, and she's a personal friend, and we'd like to see her stay. But we agree with everything that everybody else has said. Thank you.
Please.
I'm Gary Schilke. I'm lucky to have my wife with me. She survives a serious illness. And due to Dr. Miller's quick action and her professionality, she's alive today. Now, we've heard the testimony of many people today, and I believe the board has the authority to override the decision of a person who's not competent, put it that way.
And just a
I
reminder,
believe
we are not going to go into personal attacks. You can make your public comment to the board, but we will not be attacking people personally.
I stand corrected, but I just wanted to make it clear that we all are in favor of overturning the decision made by one person. And I do believe the board can listen to what I have to say. They have the authority to override this decision, and because of the wonderful work that Dr. Miller has done for my wife, I am very much involved. So all I want to say is I hope the board does make a good and proper decision and renew the contract of a wonderful physician, Dr. Miller.
I'm Lori. I work here at the hospital. I've not been here very long, only 2.5 years, and I'm in the medical field because I care about people, and I sympathize with every single one of you guys having a good physician. But what they can't say is it wasn't one person, and there's been a lot of stuff happening in the background that nobody knows about. And they can't horrible what's happening, obviously. And I feel for every single one of you guys. And I hope nobody hates me for going against the whole room.
No.
But there's a lot of background stuff.
But
that
was
nobody knows
something
about.
so egregious? Do you know what egregious means?
Yes, and it wasn't a knee-jerk reaction. It wasn't like, boo, here we go. It's been building, I believe, just me, my person, this is just me. It's been building over time. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
Last call for public comment. Mr. Tappas.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I share a lot of the concerns that these other people gave. I'm concerned about the lack of diversity. Had there been a lot of complaints about the doctor, I have a pretty good ear to the ground on a lot of things that happen in this community, and I've not heard that much about Dr. Miller at all. Most of the things I've heard are good things. 4 of my customers are diabetics. Not one of them has complained. The only complaints they've made is they're afraid of health care. And their primary concern was Dr. Miller was leaving. I think the board needs to consider that. You have a lot of concerns. If you had something negative, then it's imperative that the community knows about that. I've not heard about that. I think you should consider this and take it seriously and offer the doctor a contract. Thank you.
Am I missing anyone?
Last item, if I may. You folks have air conditioning system, heating system. It's quite loud. For those that are hard of hearing, you need a sound system here. If you look at the RNRS, it states those that have difficulty hearing, you have to address those issues. You need to address it here. I see some people in here straining. I've been in other meetings, same thing. So please take that into consideration from this point forward. Thank you.
No more public comment, we'll move on to 4. Approval of minutes from the last regular meeting and special meeting that had been held since the last regular meeting. 1, discussion for possible action, approval of the minutes of the Board of Trustees special meeting dated January 29, 2021. Any corrections?
I have a couple.
Hello, George.
Jerry, how are you?
How are you doing? Good to see you.
I have my purse. I don't know where I am, I'm lost.
I'm gonna let you go first.
My jacket.
And then also I have, and I could be wrong on this, I believe, Mr. Walker was present, and I believe you were also present, Shalane? Okay, if you'll just,
Oh, yeah.
that's all I have. Anyone else?
Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve with corrections.
Move to accept the board of trustee minutes dated January 29th.
Okay, motion is made by Dick and seconded by Todd. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, motion passes unanimously. 2, discussion for possible action, approval of the minutes from the Board of Trustees meeting dated February 26th, 2021. Any changes or questions?
February 22nd.
February 26th, 2021. Right? Does yours say Oh, yeah, this is wrong on the agenda. It is the 22nd. So,
So that'll be one update to those.
to the agenda, not to the minutes though. The minutes are correct.
Correct. I do have a couple of changes on the minutes from that meeting, the February meeting. If you'll just indicate that Brian Kyle was not present, that I was, and then this may be a lapse of memory on my part. I don't remember Dr. Christensen being present. He was there? Okay. And that was all I had.
Okay. Any other corrections to the minutes?
the agenda is wrong?
The agenda is wrong, correct.
I would approve it the next meeting. I'm not gonna approve it today.
Okay. We can table that to.
That would just be a recommendation.
The agenda is correct. It
No,
says approving the minutes from February 22nd. The error was on the actual minutes, which dated February 22nd. So it would be my recommendation for the board to vote to approve the minutes with the correction of the new date.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought the meeting was on the 22nd.
No.
The meeting was on the 26th?
I have no idea.
It was on the 22nd. So like the agenda is,
The agenda is incorrect,
I believe, is that?
but the minutes are correct.
Minutes are correct, yes.
That's all.
It's up to the board if you want to move to table.
No, it's whatever, I'm not trying to get cross with your legal counsel. I just, if the agenda has an item that says there was a meeting on the 26th, that's a notice problem.
Corrections?
Well, but the agenda is what's incorrect, and that's your issue, correct, Mike?
No, I thought that you guys said you had a meeting on the 22nd.
We did.
So the agenda's correct. So I'm okay with the agenda.
No, the agenda says the 26th. So we have the wrong agenda.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, whatever.
So,
Yeah,
given.
just minutes, just minutes.
Given given the confusion, I would recommend, Madam Chairwoman, that you, move to table. We will revisit this at the next minute. That way, all board members are comfortable going forward.
All right, then I'm entertaining motion to table this agenda item.
I so move table the agenda with corrections.
I'll second.
Okay, the motion was made by Todd and seconded by Mike. All those in favor? Opposed? None. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Mike. Okay. Determination and finding of critical labor shortage and approval of a critical need position and retired reemployment notification of Nevada PERS regarding G. Norman Christensen, MD, pursuant to NRS 286.523. Matt.
So Dr. G. Norman Christensen, as you guys know, he oversees the nursing home for the most part. And so he gets his credentials and his insurance and everything through us. So he needs to be reappointed. He has retired with PERS a while back, but this is required for PERS in order for him to continue working. I think it has to be done every 2 years, if I remember right.
This is just paperwork, basically. Right?
Say what?
This is just paperwork.
It's paperwork for PERS, yeah, it's one of PERS requirements, yeah.
Okay, I'd like to entertain a motion. If no one has a question.
I move that we accept this. We still are under the critical labor shortage area here. So I move that we notify that person about
Motion is made by Todd and seconded by Richard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none. Motion passes unanimously. D, discussion of possible action, determination and finding of critical labor shortage and approval of critical need position and retirees reemployment notification of Nevada PERS regarding Gary Siegel, MD, pursuant to NRS 286.523.
All right, Dr. Siegel, same, I guess, issue. He is retired from PERS as well, but still working, and so it's required for him to continue working. And I did explain to him that this will probably be the last time that we can do this, because we do have these new providers. You know, as I told you, I've reached out to over 600 providers trying to get people to come out to Ely and hit the jackpot this year, because all of a sudden I've gotten a lot of interest, which I have not in the past. So anyway, I did let Dr. Siegel know, you know, with these new providers, we may not have a critical shortage. So he is aware of that, but at this time we still do. They won't come till September. So.
I move that we accept the determination and find critical labor shortage to approve Dr. Siegel.
Passes unanimously. E, discussion for possible.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chachis reporting.